Hello and welcome to Wine and Real Estate.
Hello.
And
Thanks for
today
having me.
we're drinking water because it's 7:30 a.m. in Costa Rica, and where Lika, our wonderful guest, is joining us. It's 5:30 p.m. in the country of Georgia. So
Yeah.
welcome, Lika. Could you maybe tell us more about yourself, what you do, and Georgia? A lot of people don't know; they think it's a state in the U.S. So.
I know. I had a problem since the beginning of my career, and yeah. So my name is Lika Tsintsabadze. I'm a founder of Nomos Law Firm in Tbilisi. It's the capital. So we basically specialize in business law. We are in immigration, real estate, tax and customs, and anything that is related to civil law proceedings and administrative law. Yes, and we mainly help local and international clients with doing business here.
Wonderful. And I know Jennifer has some burning questions. We're interested in setting up a corporation in Georgia, but yeah, Jennifer, take it away.
Yes, well, first of all, I know that it's such a big wine country in Georgia, so I'm so excited about that. This is wine and real estate after all.
Yes.
So I don't know if maybe you can tell us a little bit about the wine in Georgia or a little bit about
culture.
Yeah, because I'm sure a lot of people are very curious about it.
Yeah, first of all, I'm not a big drinker. I used to drink a lot, but now I'm just out of the subject. Like my country is a birthplace of wine, it has been said, and it has been actually named as a birthplace of wine. So we have probably, to my knowledge, 8,000 vintages, so 8,000 types of wine per se, if I may say. And then we have the tradition in every family, basically, especially in East. We have a tradition of wine making in kvevri. Now, kvevri is an earth vessel, which is put in earth. Yes, so this is how they used to make it, and it is still how the people make it now till this day.
Oh, that's so interesting.
It's very unique. Yes, this kvevri is very unique, and it's every year we celebrate that. We have festivals, wine festivals, wine testing, and also I think the biggest market comes from East, which is Cafeti mainly. Cafeti is a region in Georgia, and basically this is where people have their wine making tradition. So it is like more traditional there. Of course, we have wine in West, also winemaking days and winemaking festivals, but mostly it happens in East.
Oh, then we're definitely going to have to go to the East.
Yes, it's on our list.
One other question, Lika. So for us who are North Americans and who are maybe like, what would be the advantage for North Americans to open up a corporation in Georgia?
Yes. Well, basically, it is taxes, right? So any Western can say, whether you are from Canada, US, Australia, Europe, anyone can say that taxes are, especially corporate taxes, are quite high. And then in comparison to Eastern Europe, which is my country, has to offer like lower taxes. Well, it's not a tax haven, so you still have to pay taxes, of course, but the comparison is huge, I think. Like for the rate, it is 20% of personal income tax, 15% of corporate taxes, 5% for dividends and royalties, 18% of VAT, and we also have Estonian model, which means that if you don't distribute money out of the company, so if you don't take the profit out of the company, that you're not being taxed at all. So I think this is what motivates the people, plus the culture, plus it is very mixed culture, it is very unique. We have our own language, we have really welcoming environment, and the tradition, it's still traditional in a way that we have our own traditions, but the country is pretty much westernized or trying to be westernized. So you will find a lot of similarities with Western world, but we still have some Asian part in us because we are in the middle of Europe and Asia. So this is like pretty unique when it comes to like being on a good geographical location where you can easily access Asian market, where you can easily access European market. We have visa liberalization happened in 2017, so you can travel visa-free in any Schengen area, Schengen countries. You can travel visa-free in South America, in Dubai, also UAE, also like Malaysia. I don't know, there are many countries that you can travel visa-free. So yeah, I think it's a package that's basically
is attractive.
Yes, is attractive for especially Westerns. Yes.
Okay, and then so yeah, we have the tax rates. You said the I guess residency or citizenship. I know the visa, like as we're Canadians, the visa is very generous. I think it's 365 days.
Yes, exactly. And it is funny because some people tell me like, what happens after this 1 year is expired? Well, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? I'm like, go in Turkey for 1 day or a few hours and come back, and then another 1 year starts.
So you can do the border run.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I don't think I don't know if somebody's working here, if somebody's really making business here, and they're relocated, and I think it is a good decision to take permits to live here, because why not? And if you're not, then I don't think immigration would be a concern. If you just want to visit, or if you just want to make business remotely without staying here. Yeah, so that are also like many tax incentives, which, for example, we have a possibility to pay only 1% of tax.
Yes, that's the part I'm interested in.
Yeah, what 1% sounds like really appealing to everyone, basically, but it has its rules, right?
Yeah.
So anything that is appealing comes with a lot of rules and regulations. So basically, you have the possibility to be an individual entrepreneur officially, and then after that, you have the possibility to pay 1% instead of 20%. You can take small business status. So your activities also should like maybe you're a writer, you are a trader, you are someone that is not making more than $500,000 GEL, which is approximately 170K USD per year. So if you are that type of individual and you have that type of business, you have the possibility to take small business status, and through that small business status, you are paying only 1% on your monthly income. Yes, so basically the ones that they don't have like a big business which has like revenue more than that, then I think it's a good idea to pursue with that.
That's amazing. And then in that small business, you can do it remotely, or you have to be physically in Georgia, or?
You can do it remotely, along with anything basically that is concerning like doing business here. Like you can open company remotely, you can open bank accounts remotely, you can open your IE and take small business status remotely. So yeah, it's a pretty straightforward procedure, and it's really easy.
And that's something that you don't have to be a citizen to do. Anyone?
No. These are all. Well, I think this is the question where it comes to why Georgian government decided to do so. Yeah. I think it comes to the point that it is made for the people who are not state citizens, mainly because they want to attract the investment here. They want to attract people who are trying to relocate, who have been thinking about like changing, on having options, second passports, second like banking options also. So I think it is made particularly for the ones that want to relocate. So it is not obligatory to have any type of residence or passport.
Oh, interesting. So now we have to talk about the real estate side of things.
That's
our real specialty.
One last question, though, sorry, is because we learned with our travels, a lot of countries, when you have a corporation or a small business, you're allowed one area of focus. Like you mentioned, a writer. So if I set up a small business and I'm a writer, but I also do coaching and I don't know, I resell Apple Watches, whatever, something. I have like kind of 3 lines of business. Can you do it, or is it just the amount, or you can do a bunch of things in the one company?
Like kind of the activity.
It depends. For example, if you're into crypto trading and if your business is purely financial, or if your business needs licensing, then it is not allowed to have IE. Not you can have IE and pay 20%, but this incentive is for small businesses. So if you are someone that is dealing with bigger business that needs like licensing, that has like possible like bigger turnover yearly, that is like
but within the one small thing, you could do a variety of little things, like some let's say you do some marketing consulting.
Yes, if you're someone like that consults, that writes books, that has basically the activities that are not connected to licensing or to finance, to big revenues, to that part of business, then I think all sorts of we have a lot of codes codes of activities. So if someone comes and says, I want to pursue this here, and can I do it through IE, small business status, then we can have like individual planning for them, so that they know. Because if you by mistake take this status of, or if they by mistake give you this status, sometimes what happen is that they take away this status from you and they made you like pay 20%.
Retroactively.
From the beginning, I think everyone should know whether they are eligible for that or no, and then pursue with it.
Perfect. Now on to the meat, the real estate.
So I don't know if you want to give us kind of like a high overview of what it's like to like purchase a property in Georgia.
Yeah, like fees, are there stamp duties, all that stuff.
I mean, we live basically, I want to say, because from my 7 years of experience, I can say that here it is less bureaucratic than in Europe, than in US and in Canada, with regarding the paperwork, regarding all the regulations. So I think it is pretty straightforward process and pretty easy to buy an apartment here, any type of real estate. So you're as a foreigner, you are available. You can buy any real estate which is commercial, which is a land for living, residential apartment, but we have only one restriction on agricultural land. Foreigner cannot buy agricultural land, so it is the only restriction we have. When it comes to taxes, the foreigner has exactly the same rights, and when it comes to buying real estate, the foreigner has exactly the same rights as a national. So the process goes like this: you hire someone, whether it's going to be a lawyer or preferably an agent. They take 3%, but mostly they take 3% from the seller, not from the buyer. So this is the practice here, and they search the market for you, but we also have the possibility, but you also have the possibility to search the market for yourself. We have some type of certain web pages where all the listings are there, but I think it's better if you're looking for a high-end apartment, it's better to hire an agent, good agent.
Yes.
After that, it comes the lawyer's part. I think when you are new here, it's better to hire a lawyer to do the due diligence for you, to check the status of the real estate, to check all the credibility and all the things that concerns legal aspects. And after that, I think paperwork comes on, and then which is contracts like purchase contracts, main contracts, and then the title transfer, which happens in public service hall. So yeah, it's a pretty simple process. The main thing is to find a good apartment, because now the market is thriving, but I don't know if it's good or bad. I still haven't figured out, because worldwide the prices has went up on the properties. Yeah. I don't know. It's not coming down. It's not stabilizing. So I guess we have like new market prices, which is like a set market price. So for like 1 year, we thought it would stabilize, but it hasn't. So I think like we got like new market prices on the apartments on certain areas. When it comes to areas, like we don't have one central area, if I may say. We have a different like good areas, which we call it like central. Okay. So if I give you an examples, like Baguette is like it's like very business oriented high-end apartments. Vera, another part of Tbilisi, we have like trendy, it's like more trendy, contemporary. It's more like you have cafes, you have people who are like working remotely, so that type of thing. And then we have Old Tbilisi, which is like super beautiful, which is monuments, which is sightseeing, so more like touristy, you know. And we have Saburtalo. Well, I'm located on Saburtalo. My office is on Saburtalo, and I also live in Saburtalo. This is very residential, family-oriented area, more quiet than the Old Tbilisi and then Baguette side. So, but we call this floor all central area. So we don't really have just one central in Tbilisi, because it's like pretty small city in all means, but we don't really have that like one central area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
and a little bit of everything.
Well, it's a nice mix. If you have a family, you can pick a quieter area. If you're a hipster digital nomad, you can go there. If you're kind of middle-aged like us, you want quiet, so you can sleep at night.
Yes, and we have this one trendy area. Like this is pretty it has been under construction for almost 5 to 10 years now. It is Lisi Lake in Tbilisi. So it is. We have like new multi-apartment buildings there. So it's like mix of multi-apartment buildings and new projects, and also private houses.
Oh, great!
So, yeah, it's also like a very family-oriented, quiet area. And I think when it comes to real estate, if you are living here and if Tbilisi is not your business destination only, and if you are relocating here, I think air pollution is also something to consider.
Yeah.
Because all these areas that I just mentioned has well, I would say like air is polluted in general, but in these areas mostly. So people tend to go to Tatsminda, which is like higher level of the city, or like lake area. So it's more fresh air, it's more family oriented, it's like more chill than the central part of Tbilisi. So yeah.
And what causes the pollution? Is it a lot of factories or car traffic?
No, actually, no, I would say cars and traffic.
Okay.
Because I just remembered like Corona times when we were all locked down. It was like I thought I was a resort when I walked out of my home, because I think when the cars stopped moving and where there was no traffic and there were no rush hours, I think this is what's causing this much pollution everywhere in the world, not only here. Because Tbilisi is capital, you know, it's like everybody wants to come here, everybody wants to move their business here, everybody wants to come here to study because they don't have a lot of opportunities in their in suburbs or in provinces, you know. So I think this is what is causing this much of pollution.
Okay, interesting.
Another question is, should you hold your real estate in your personal name or a corporation? Is that a thing, or?
There are, I think, two factors to consider. First is what is your purpose of purchasing?
Yes.
You want to take residency, you want to take citizenship, maybe you want to make some investment and become an investor in the country, or you want to like make it under your company's name because it's an LLC. You're not really out there. Your company is your company is owning this property. So it depends what is your purpose of purchasing the apartment. Like both are possible totally. So I think it depends your reasonings on your reasonings.
Okay. And also for investors that are looking maybe at buying real estate there, how easy is it to get around with just English?
It's pretty easy, especially in Tbilisi. And I'm not going to lie, and I'm going to say that if you go out of Tbilisi, it will be like perfect English spoken. But English is widely spoken here, especially youngsters. So anyone below 40 would know English, I'm pretty sure, in Tbilisi. But you cannot expect them to be fluent.
No.
Because, yes, it's like our first language is our mother language, and then it comes like with youngsters, it's English, the second one, and for all older generation, it's Russian because it was times and they were obliged to learn that language. So I think it differs who you are having the conversation with and who you are meeting.
Okay.
That's great, because there's a lot of Russians everywhere too, so it's a big advantage.
It's like Russian. That everywhere, basically. Yes, I was actually complaining about. Well, I don't really complain about people. I just complain about politics, right? So it's like, and then I figured that everyone has that problem now in their home country. So it's not only us. We thought it was like because we are at the border. It came in, and then I thought like maybe it's just our problem, but then it's like Poland's problem.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's the U.S. problem everywhere. Yeah, it's everywhere like that.
So that's one thing that investors look at as well. Is Georgia politically stable?
I would say now yes, but when it comes to stability, when you have such a big and powerful, and also politically, we have some political history with them. So because they are our neighbors, we try to stay stable with our policy, with our politics, with diplomacy. Because we had a war in 2008. It was for five days, and my dad says that the war was just for 5 days, and I wouldn't say a war, I would say it was a conflict.
Yeah.
Involved bombing. but then again, it's just paralyzed the whole real estate, the whole business structure for 5 years. So we don't really want that happening again. So I guess the politics and the policies we have now, although a lot of patriotic people wouldn't really, agree on that maybe, but I think like being safer and being more stable means a lot to us. So I think we should choose diplomacy over some certain things.
I see it like Canada and the US. I know the US is not doing hostile takeovers or anything like that, but Canada has the kind of, in French, we say put some water in their wine, dilute their wine.
Yes,
so their policies have to be a little more mellow than technically people that are full on patriotic would say, no, like this is a hard line, let's close the border. But because the US is so big, Canadians do a lot. Like even our currency is kept lower artificially for that.
Exactly. So we want best for our country, and I believe when you're born somewhere, your first instinct is to defend. Your first instinct is to protect. But then again, when there's just no point, like you should know your powers, and you should know who you're dealing with. So it's a sad story, but it's a real story. So.
But still some great opportunities. I think your country is doing well and really rising on the international level. Like we're hearing about Georgia. At first, I'm like, that's a state in the US. You have to look on the map. Oh, wow. Okay. Great location. A nice mix of weather, friendly people, great wine. In Canada, there's more and more Georgian wine appearing on the shelves.
We actually found some.
So it's just, I think there's great things. And yes, there's challenges everywhere. We're currently in Costa Rica. There's potholes and issues here too, like illegal immigration from other countries that are having problems. So it's a worldwide thing, but you make the most out of what you have. And like our realtor in Florida said, if you have issues, if you get limes, make margaritas. So
yeah, exactly.
So Lika, if our listeners want to get a hold of you and your team, what's the best way to reach you?
Whether they want to pursue business here or they want to immigrate, they want to relocate, they can contact us at www.nomosgeorgia.com. We have a special contact form there, and all contact details are there. So I think our web page is the best way to contact us.
Perfect. And your team is super responsive. I've been emailing back and forth. We were traveling around the globe, and then I'm like, I'm getting answers. This is great. Yes. Normally there's a form and no one answers.
All the
time. Yeah. So it's amazing. And the fees are very, very reasonable. We've done a lot of research in many, many places, and it's very doable. Sounds great so far. So
thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been an honor. And everybody check out nomosgeorgia.com. Lots of information on the website as well. And I think there's some amazing opportunities in Georgia for everyone. So,
right. So cheers.
Cheers, Lika. We'll drink some water to that.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.